Alright, hello guys, welcome to Math 1 2015, the first video that we're doing. All we're doing is compound inequalities, which will probably also, it goes back to the regular inequalities, so if you can do these, you can do the regular ones as well. I always start off with a joke, so let's try this one. The other day I was talking to someone, and I was like, oh yeah, we're learning inequalities, and then they go, oh yeah, so like what is that, like the difference between the rich and the poor? And I was like, I just stared at him. I was like, no, inequality is not inequality. Okay, so not that funny. All right, all right. So let's get through this. All right, so let's go ahead and switch this color to black. So let's go ahead and do the first one. So what you have to imagine is treat these both as like equal signs. So if this was just an equal sign and this was an equal sign, well, we've got two different things to solve for. So just solving normally, you're going to get rid of this -3. So you're going to add 3 to both sides here. And you've got to add it to both sides as well, right? Now, when you add 3 here, you're really taking care of two equations. You're taking care of this part right here, right, from the -2x onto the right, and this part here, -7 all the way up to here. So you're really doing two equations at once. I'm just going to quicken it up by doing it at the same time. You've got +3 here, well, you've got to add 3 here, and you've got to add 3 here. That's going to give you -4 is less than -2x, which is less than or equal to 12. Okay. Now remember, we started with an and statement, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this out. In order to get rid of the -2, I need to go ahead and divide by -2. So I'm going to divide by -2 on both parts of the equation. So -2, -2, and -2. And that should give me +2 x and -6. Now the important part here is to remember what happened. Well, we divided by a negative number, so we had to flip the sign. So now the sign is like this. It's x is greater than 6, and 2 is greater than x. Right? Now, we don't like looking at things in this form. We don't like seeing the inequalities where it's greater than and greater than, because this really means 2 is greater than x, which is greater than or equal to -6. So instead, I'm going to read this backwards. Okay, so I'm going to read this backwards and rewrite it. Okay, so I've got -6 is, reading from this direction, less than or equal to x. And notice nothing's changed, right? Because the opening of the greater than sign for this is towards x. The opening of the sign is towards x. Okay, so -6 is less than or equal to x, and then we can continue from there. X is less than 2. So I'm just rewriting it, because we don't like it written like that. Okay. Now we can go ahead and put this on a number line, and we will have 2 over here. Is it open or closed? Well, if there's no line, it's open. Okay, open. And then is this open or closed? At -6. Well, if it's got a line, it's shaded. Okay, so no line, no shade. Yes line, yes shade. Okay, so go ahead and shade in 6. And we know that all the values that make this true are between -6 and 2. So it's all of these things in here. So for example, if I check 0, is 0 less than 2? Yes. Is 0 greater than or equal to -6? Yes. In other words, you read it, is -6 less than or equal to 0? Yes. Is 0 less than 2? Yes. Okay, so that's how you would end up getting this one. And this started off as an and it finished as an and, right? Though it sort of looked like it changed to an or statement here, it didn't. Right. In this case, we've started off with an or statement. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve for it normally. So first we're going to subtract 1. We're going to get -3x is greater than 3. And then same thing over here. -3x is less than -9. Okay. Now from here I can solve. I got x is greater than -1 because I divided by -3 on both sides. Oh wait, hold on, what did I forget? This thing, I have to flip it, right? So it's now x is less than -1. And then over here I'm going to divide by 3. I get x And this time I won't forget to flip it. I've got to flip it is greater than, because I flip it, since I divide by negative 3, is greater than 3, right? Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is 3. So now I can put this on a number line and see what we get. X is greater than 3, here's 3, here's negative 1. Both of these don't have a line, so both of them are open. No line, no shade. All right, X is greater than 3, that's things like 3.1, 3.2, 4, 5, 5.5, all those things. And that's why we're shading this direction. Those are all the things that make it true. Or, these are the other things that make it true. What is less than negative 1? Negative 2, negative 3, negative 3.5, negative 4, negative 4.2, etc. So that's how it's going to look like. So we started off with an OR statement, and we finished off with an OR statement. Okay. Key thing is just to remember to flip the sign if you divide by negative. I'm also going to post up a bunch of links in case you guys need additional help. But otherwise, this is our first video. And the secret code word is bananas. Okay, so bananas. Alright, I'll see you guys in class.